ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। 17 onwards. यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः
यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावः
बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते
बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते
हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान्
हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान्
न हन्ति न निबध्यते
न हन्ति न निबध्यते
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता
ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता
त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना
त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना
करणं कर्म कर्तेति
करणं कर्म कर्तेति
त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः
त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः
ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च
ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च
त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः
त्रिदैव गुणभेदतः
प्रोच्यते गुणसङ्ख्याने
प्रोच्यते गुणसंख्याने
यथावच्छृणुतान्यपि
यथावच्छृणुतान्यपि
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकम्
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकम्
भावमव्ययमीक्षते
भावम् अव्ययमीक्षते
अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु
अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानम्
पृथक्त्वेन तु यत् ज्ञानम्
नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान्
नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान्
वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु
वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्
यत्तु कृत्स्नवदैकस्मिन्
यत्तु कृत्स्नवदर्
यत्तु
यत् कृष्णवद
यत्तु कृत्स्नवदेकस्मिन्
यस्तु कृष्णपदे कस्मिन्
कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम्
कार्ये सक्तम् अहैतुकम्
अतत्त्वार्थवदल्पञ्च
अतत्वार्तवदत् अल्पम्
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्.
So we were looking at Krishna's beginning to explain Karma Chodana 18. Three triggers of action. And the triggers are what? Jnanam, Jneyam, Parijnata. You need three things for any action to take place, to action to start. A knower is needed, an object of knowledge is needed, and knowledge itself is needed. Okay, that's what he's saying. Then, karma sangraha. Then what are the components of action if you ask? He's saying, karanam, karma, karta. The three main things for action to persist after it is triggered, after it is caused, is this karta. Agent is needed, of course. Agent. Previously, knower, he said. Now he's saying agent. Because an action must be done by somebody must say I did it. Okay, so that is why we say animals do not have karma. Why? Because animal, that sense of I did it doesn't is not there for the animal. Very interesting it is. The lion may go for a chase, big chase. My goodness, chase and so many deer and everybody is running, zebra, everybody is running. Finally, it catches one animal and then finishes it off. And you ask the lion, wow, that was majestic. The lion will say what? If it had a mouth, it won't say anything. It just did instinctively, it did some. And it doesn't need any awards for it. Nobody awards a lion for being the king of the jungle. No award is there. Why? Kartritvam is not there. If Kartritvam were there, it will demand. What will it demand? It will say, I'm not recognized for my greatness. It will get depressed. Then you have an association of depressed lions will be there. All that will be there. Okay. So therefore, Kartritvam is so important. Karma is happening, but Karta is there. Own up that karma. Okay. Therefore, he says that here. Karanam, karma, karta, iti, trividaha, karma sangraha. Then he is saying, Tanyapi Shrunu. In 19, he is saying, Jnanam, karma cha, karta cha. So he's saying, I'm going to pick three things to explain to you further. Jnanam, karma, action, and karta, agent, or doer. So I'm going to tell you a little more about this jnanam, karma, and karta. And jnanam is what he's going to take up. He's going to divide that into sattvika jnanam, rajasika jnanam, and tamasika jnanam. So we were beginning to understand that. And we said that as a child grows up, it begins to gain knowledge. It's born out of full ignorance. Complete ignorance doesn't even know who the father or mother is. There's no question of father and mother. It doesn't arise at all. It needs help constantly. And some people are helping. And some person is constantly there. The child keeps on looking at that person every day, every minute. It keeps on looking. So it gets an idea. Oh, this person is very important to me. And then that person says, Amma, Amma sollu, Amma sollu. Are ma bolo. So then it says, oh, ma. So that's it. So that connection begins to develop. It takes such a long time to do all these things. Nothing is given to this baby. Human baby just born in pure ignorance. Nothing is there. Slowly it learns. And anyway, we said that it begins to learn everything, whatever is needed for survival, it learns. And we're saying that the child begins to know that, hey, this body is me, obviously. When I go to school, the body is going to school. Nobody says that, but it's assumed. It's quickly gathered, quickly understood. And the friend calls you to play a game. I go. Means this body runs. And of course, I have to run. And thankfully, this body responds to me. And so this body and me are identical. Identical. Of course, it's identical. And so mother calls me, come on, time's up, 7 o'clock p.m. You have to wash your legs. We used to do all this. Wash your legs, wash your hands, and you have to tell some shlokas. And this body only has to do all that. This mouth has to open. And so, very clear that Dehatma Buddhi is there. Deeply entrenched notion is there. It works well. It works well to make this body survive. And I become a very good survivor. The human being becomes a survivor. Sometimes it's a struggle, it's a big struggle. Sometimes things happen very easily. Okay, so we were looking at that. And so that's the basic idea a human being has about oneself. Okay? That is what he's talking about in this sloka number 22. We said we are going to look at 22 first. Because it 22, 21, 20. Tamasa jnanam, rajasika jnanam, and sattvika jnanam. You can go either way, but since we explained like this, we just said let's do 22. And so he's saying, look at this. Yattu ekasmin karye saktam. Yat means that yat jnanam. You have to put within brackets jnanam. Yat jnanam, that knowledge that 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 is going to be explained now. That knowledge. Ekasmin karye saktam. Look at the language. Saktam means attached, confined. Confined to what? Ekasmin karye. In one karyam. Here karyam refers to body. Deha. That, that deha. I am this body. That I am this body. Ekasmin means in that one body alone. That I is just crystal clear. I am this body. Ekasmin karye sattam. Sangaha comes from the word sangaha. Attached to that body. Deeply entrenched idea is there. My body and I cannot be separate. Of course, that is true. Can't be separate. There is no body without me. There is no me without the body. Correct. Ekasmin karye saktam. Okay. And then Krishna is saying, Kritsnavat. Krishna means what? Complete. Totally. Entirely. As though this is the only thing about me. Body is all there is about me. If body is gone, I am gone. If body is born, I am born. That's all. That's all there is about it. Kritsnavat. As though this is everything. As though this is the be all end all. Okay. Krishnavat. Ahaitukam. Ahaitukam. Hetu. Hetu means cause. Hetu means reason. Reason. So Krishna is saying, Ahaitukam. Shankaracharya is saying, Hetu varjitam. वर्जित है हेतु से वर्जित है और हेतु का वर्जित है मतलब it's unreasonable there is it's not logical it's actually not logical it's a conclusion I'm making exactly like I say sun is rising unless I'm taught I will take that as a real sun is rising that too in the east also it's rising every day it's rising in the east so it's the conclusion is confirmed and everybody also agrees with me therefore that conclusion is as until I go to school and then I come home and say, Mom, you know what? The sun doesn't move at all. Do you know that? Oh, really? Beta? I'm so proud of you. Now all this thing happens. And so at least the parent should get feedback, this boy studied or not. So it takes so much knowledge to say that this what I perceive, what I concluded is wrong. And so here he's saying, Ahai to come. I hate to come. And Krishna is it's a summary. So Krishna is reminding Arjuna, hey, Kshetrajnan chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata and all. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetravitta vidhiyate. Where did we see that? We saw it somewhere in 13th chapter. Right? Same thing. Idam shariram kaunteya. Hey, kaunteya, this body, this shariram is kshetram. Just like you, all those things are kshetram. The playground in which you played is also kshetram. And Kurukshetra also is kshetram. India also is kshetram. Every body, even these books are all called kshetram. And then who am I? I am kshetrajnaha. Idam shariram kaunteya. 13th chapter, I think first or second it comes. Etadyo veti tam prahuhu. Kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. Hey, this you must know. Only you can know this. This conscious being only can know this. And so you are kshetrajna. You are not kshetram. Just like you have concluded that the tree is not me, the house is not me, this book is not me, those people are not me. You concluded. How did you conclude that? Because they are an object of your perception. Anything that you see is not you. You concluded that. Why don't you apply the same logic to this body? Body also I see. It is an object of my perception. Okay. That is why ahai to come. It is without reason. This conclusion, ekasmin karya saktam, is actually without reason. Only reason you can give is ignorance. That's the only reason you can give. But it's illogical. It's an illogical conclusion. Look at that. And atatvarthavat, and it's illogical. Therefore, there is no tattvam. There is no truth in this conclusion. It is useless conclusion. Truthful conclusions can be useful to us, often useful to us. Every piece of truth need not be useful to us. Like the 99% you get in WhatsApp. It may be truth also. It may be truth. We don't deny that. But it's useless. If you keep on reading all this stuff, your life will get wasted. Suddenly you'll find that I'm 80 years old. What did I do? And this question will come. And now WhatsApp is making it worse also. It's like saying you can't lick your elbow. That is stuck in my head now because I saw it in WhatsApp. 10 useless things, useless facts, useless facts. You can't lick your elbow. Okay, now what do you gain by knowing that? No, I gain by knowing that. I gain it because I can talk about it in class like this. But what will you gain with it? That's you can't gain it. You can have a fun with your children. You can say, I want to tell you 10 things that are absolutely useless. Like that, you can have a conversation. Yeah, it's useful, no doubt.
ಕಾಕದಂತ
But
ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾ.
Kakadanta Pariksha. Okay. So, uh, anyway, Atatvarthavat. There's no scope. There is no scope for liberation if I'm stuck with this knowledge and the body idea. I mean, there's no scope at all. Okay. Okay. Alpam cha. Alpam. Alpam. At least the animal doesn't make any such conclusion. Okay. Animal has scope. Next Janma, at least it has exhausted its karma. Okay. And then it may be born as a human being. Okay. But this guy now deeply entrenched notion is there that I am the body. And if the life is not led properly, then there is no improvement at all. This human life should have contributed to my improvement somewhere. And so he's saying alpam cha. It's trivial. It's nothing. To say I'm the body is nothing. You can't write. You can't. You can't even put it in your resume. Nobody will accept it. And so maximum you can survive with it, and we're all survivors. We're all survivors. Anyway, so tad jnanam tamasam udahritam. Look at that, tamasam jnanam. We might think this tamas knowledge is something about adharma and all that. He is not talking about adharma and all. Whether you are a dharmic person or adharmic person, as long as I think I am this body, as long as my idea of I is confined to this body, that knowledge is called tamasa jnana. Tat tamasam udahritam. Udahritam means it is called. It is well known as udahritam. All right, let's translate this. Whereas that knowledge by which one is committed to the individual body, that knowledge by which one is committed to the individual body, as though it is the whole, as though it is the whole, comma, which is unreasonable or illogical, which is unreasonable, untruthful, and petty. Can use any word, limited, petty, trivial, can use any of those words. Is called tamasic knowledge. Okay. Whereas that knowledge by which one gets committed to the individual body as though it is the whole, comma, which is unreasonable, untruthful, and petty, is called tamasic knowledge. Very good. So he's shifting our attention to the things that make a difference in our life. Dharma and all, he is not talking much, even though sometimes dharma is mentioned. But when it comes to knowledge, he is not talking about dharma at all. We'll see, continue to see this discussion. We're now going to chant number 21. So from 22, we are going to 21. पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानम्
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानम्
नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान्
नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान्
वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु
वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु
अज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानम्
पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानम्
नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान्
नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान्
वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु
वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्.
So there is now some progress from that deeply entrenched idea that I am the body. My life lasts only as long as I live, from my date of birth to when I'm going to pass away. That's my only life. I have to make it now. And if that's it, and I have to make it now. And therefore, I can bulldoze my way through. I can do whatever I want, and I can make it and somehow make it. Beg, borrow, or steal. This beg, borrow, or steal idea comes from this notion. And Swamiji will caution us. Not beg, borrow, or steal. Beg, borrow, or buy. Punja Swamiji stated. Beg, borrow, or buy. And the steal business not accepted. Even if I'm in the streets, I can't steal. That's the idea. That's why dharma is a purushartha for us. Because this life is not it. I have to make it. Therefore, dharma is a means for me to get this antakarana shuddhi. And therefore, even if I have to struggle, there is a purpose for that. So now, what is the progression here? The guy comes to understand that, you know what? When I die, the body really dies. There is something that survives death. There is something that survives death. The Sukshma Shariram survives death. The mind is surviving death. There is something about me that travels. That travels. And so the person appreciates child prodigies. How can there be a child prodigy? That unless there was something before the child was born. Okay. So that kind of idea this guy gets. And so he begins to escape the trap of science. Science puts you in a trap. Science, if I take science as only Krishnavat, that's all there is. If I say Krishnavat, I'm going to use the Krishna's word. That's all there is means, then I won't have the benefit of the Shastra, right? So if this guy escapes the trap of science, science is good, very important. Everything that science says is true only, but science has nothing to say about Atma. And just because it has nothing to say about Atma does not mean Atma does not exist, or does not mean what it wrongly says as Atma is correct. Okay. In fact, science doesn't say anything about that. We can't blame science for it. No, I'm not blaming science at all for it. And so this guy begins to learn that there is a survivor after this death. And so manashashtani indriyani prakritisthani karshati. So in 15th chapter we saw manaha and shashtani indriyani. So these 6 organs, karanani, are taken away from the body to go to the next body. Okay, to go to the next body. Like that we saw in the 15th chapter. Shariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkramati ishvaraha utkramati ishvaraha grihi tvaitani sanyati vayurgandhani vasayat. Like the wind is carrying away the fragrance from the flower and keeps on going like this, like that Ishvara is carrying away my Shashtani Indriyani to the next Sharira. Like that we saw in the 15th chapter. And in the 2nd chapter itself, we saw Vasam Shijirnani Yatha Vihaya. Hey, this body is nothing more like the clothes I'm changing every day. Every morning I change clothes. Whenever I change clothes, I throw off the old and then put on new one. Nobody says I'm throwing myself. Nobody says I'm throwing myself. I'm only throwing the clothes away. Exactly like that. This body also I throw out and then I have to put on a new body. This is what Krishna had already said it earlier. So this guy begins to now graduate to that idea that I am not as impermanent as I thought. In fact, I was there before, I am now, and I will be there later also. That idea is there. So I know that I am this Ganta Atma, this moving Atma, traveling Atma, traveling Atma. In fact, that is how I can go to heaven. If I perish here and now, how can I go to heaven? So that heaven idea to be sustained, I must survive death. So in a way, Christianity also is accepting that I survive after death. Otherwise, heaven idea will not be there. And if you say I survive after death, what about my survival before my current life? No answer is there. No answer is there. So anyway, so therefore, what is this guy now going to say? I am immortal. Look at that. Because I survived, right? I was there before. I'm here now. I'm going to be there later. Therefore, I am immortal. That this guy now gets an idea. The mortality idea gives way to immortality. Okay. But there are many Atmas. As many Atmas as Jivas are there. All individuals are there. They have their different tracks. Everybody is on a different road. Okay. And so that idea is there. Many minds are there. And therefore, many punyam and papam. My punya package is personal to me. Yours is personal to yourself. Like that, everything is distinct. That idea he gets. Okay. And so now the previously that idea he got, I am only as good as the body, comes from where? It comes from nothing but just living in this world. Just by virtue of living, we all come to that same conclusion. But now I am immortal idea comes from the Veda. Veda is the first scripture that talks like that. No, you are not a mortal. Okay, so Veda Purva Bhaga is there, which talks about it, and therefore all these karmas are all important. Dharma also is important. Punyam is there, papam is there. Reduce or eliminate activities which create papam. All that idea Vedas are giving us. All right. So therefore, prithaktvena tu. Look at Krishna. Okay. See, he's going to conclude saying tad jnanam vidhi rajasam. Now he's talking about rajasam jnana. Okay, rajasam jnana. And so, what is that jnanam? Prithaktvena tu. Each body is different. Prithak means different, distinct. Each body is distinct. All right. Nana bhavan prithak vidan. So he is separating out Atma. Atma is all separate. Different Atmas are there. They are all prithak. And Nana bhavan prithak vidan. The Atma is as different as all the beings. So there are so many species are there. Human being is one of the species. And you look at animal world, you can get amazed by looking at the different animals. Everything is different. Yes, bodies are different. Correct. Species are different. Correct. Plant world is an entirely different world altogether. And that is also different. They are also jivas only. And what about Atma? Atma is also that many. That is the meaning of this Pratak. Atma also is separate. And so that kind of idea, if you have, it's definitely better than the previous idea of Ekasmin Karye Saktam, he said, right? So it's definitely better than that. Because now my idea, I have to give up my idea that I am only as good as the body. Now I have to go to the mind. Oh, something subtle. I'm not gross, I'm subtle. Correct? I'm not gross, I'm subtle. Okay. But still different. Different. Every Atma is different. Nana Bhavan, Pritak Vidhan. Okay. Shankaracharya says, Pritak Prakaran, Bhinna Lakshanam. All different. Atmas are all very, very different. Different qualities. Each person's quality is stuck to that Atma. Like that he thinks. Sarva Bhuteshu, in all beings and things. This is my idea. That's what he says. If you have that kind of idea, then Yad Jnanam Veti, one who knows, whose knowledge is like this in this manner, then Tad Jnanam Vidhi Rajasam. Understand that to be Rajasa Jnanam. Look at how Krishna is taking us towards Advaita. From Dvaita to Advaita. He's taking us. And so identifying with the mind, immortal, not bad. From mortality, I've come to immortality. And then manyness is there, distinct. Atma is as distinct as the bodies and species are all distinct. Okay? All right, let's translate this. On the other hand, may you know that, or it should be better this way. May you know that knowledge. May you know that knowledge by which one knows distinctly, by which one knows distinctly the manifold natures or nature of different kinds of beings. The manifold nature or natures of different kinds of beings as Rajasic. This is a translation given by Pujya Swami. On the other hand, may you know that, or may you know that knowledge by which one knows distinctly the manifold natures of different kinds of beings as Rajasic.
So this is Dvaita concept.
So Dvaita and Vishishta Dvaita also no different. Dvaita and Vishishta, slight subtle differences there, that's all. But essentially both are Dvaitis. So correct, you are correct. Okay, next shloka is number 20. सर्वभूतेषु येनैकम्
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकम्
भावमव्ययमीक्षते
भावमव्ययमीक्षते
अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु
अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकम्
सर्वभूतेषु येनैकम्
भावमव्ययमीक्षते
भावमव्ययमीक्षते
अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु
अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्
तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्.
So you can begin to guess what Krishna is saying here, Satvikam Jnanam. So now Shraddha is there in the Shastram, and the Shastram is telling something. It has given me a lot of karma to do, to gain Artha and Kama. And beyond Artha and Kama, it gives me karmas to gain Dharma. Dharma means Punyam and Papam. Punyam rather. Okay, Dharma refers to both, but we want Punyam. And so Punyam also, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Adeyam. So give. With Shraddha you give. And Dhanayana Adhanam Tara. And thereby gain Punyam. All that Shastram only says. Shastram validates. I may have a desire to give, but Shastram validates that. It's nice to have a validation. Yes, that's the right thing to do. And you will get Punyam from that. So like that, having gone through that life, that kind of learning from the Veda, and having dotted the I's and crossed the T's, having done all my dharma, all my duties. So remember, this word duty is a peculiar, it's an Eastern word. It's an Eastern tradition word. In America and all, they may use the word duty, but it's a it won't last for too long. It's a rights-based society. It's your right. And not that people don't do their duties in America. Of course, everybody does duties. But right governs America. America, if you have to define in one or two words, the right must be there. That American constitution gives the American the right to bear arms. Very important, all these things. Right. So then I become a demander of right. It's my right. I go to the court saying it's my right. But Indian culture is different. It's a duty based. So once it's duty based, a lot of things happen in society. And still we will say, I will do my duty and then accept whatever comes. So that's a duty based attitude, and I'm not going to fight the system. I'll contribute to the system, no doubt, in a positive way. But it is going to be what it is. And as long as I do my duty, everything will be all right. See that? As long as I do my duty, everything is going to be all right. Very different attitude it is. And people say it can make Indians passive and all. Passivity is caused by different things, not by this idea. Dharma is so important. So, anyway, after going through all that, then after doing some Shravanam, Veda Vinashinam Nityam Yayena Majam Abjayam Katham Sapurusha Partha. Oh, Avinashinam. I am Avinashi. I am Avinashi. Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha. My God, I thought I was born on a particular day, but Krishna is saying, I am Ajaha. Ajaha. I have no birth. I always exist. I always existed. Okay. And I always will exist. I am Avinashi. Therefore, there's no death for me at all. That means, who am I? Yeah, good. So that question should arise. Who am I? Question should arise. And so that's how far I have progressed now. This guy has progressed. And so that then all this prithakvam will go away slowly. There can't be many atmas like this. Nityaha, Ekaha, Ajaha, Atma has to be only one. There can't be different Atmas. If different Atmas are there, each is finite and each is opposed to the other. Each will fight against the other. This is not acceptable. This is illogical. Such an Atma has to be Ekaha. Okay? All these ideas that person learns through Shravanam. The same Veda which gave me means for Artha and Kama and Dharma is now telling me you have to grow out of this also. This idea that I am a totally insecure guy fighting for security, that idea you have to grow out of because Atma is fundamentally secure. You must be a source of security for everybody else, not a beggar of security. Like that, Shastram is talking. And so, from I am the body to I am the mind to I am something subtler than the mind also. I am consciousness. I am Sat Chit. Like that, I get the idea. This guy is getting the idea. And so I'm reminded of somebody said in Houston long ago, Hanuman was asked by Sri Rama, who are you? Who are you? And Hanuman's answer is very interesting. He says, if I take myself to be this Vanara, this Sharira, body, then I'm different from you. I am a Vanara, you are a Manushya, two different species. If I take myself to be the mind, I am what I think, I take myself to the mind, then I am your Bhakta. I am your Bhakta. Vanara body cannot be a Bhakta of another body. Two bodies, there is no relationship at all. But two minds, there is a relationship. I am your Bhakta. But if I take myself to be Atma, then Kshetrajnanchapi Mam Vidhi, then I am you, Sri Rama. Like that, Hanuman answers. So, like that, we graduate also. And so, here, look at that. Sarva Bhuteshu Yena Ekam Bhavam Avyayam Ikshate. Ikshate means the one who has that vision. Iksha means to see. To see. The one who sees life, one who sees the self in a particular way. In what way? Sarva Bhuteshu, in all beings, Ekam Bhavam, Ekam Avyayam Bhavam Ikshate. Very clear now? Ekam only. Previously Anek hai and Atma Anek hai. लेकिन अभी आत्मा एक है. So ekam bhavam. Bhavam means reality. Sat. Ekam sat. Ekam sat vipraha bahuda bhavanti. Something like that. The statement people keep on, politicians keep on quoting this. They keep on quoting, but they don't change our textbooks. I don't know what is the problem. They keep quoting this, which is correct, which is very good. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and all they say. But the books, you look at the books, textbooks. By the way, I have some good news for you. We've got a request from NCERT to review textbooks of their third grade and sixth grade. So our little team is beginning to work on that. If you're interested, let me know. So there's some little bit progress happening. We're all hopeful people and we are going to Ramaraj. The other day we did a Sankalpa. And this Pandita was doing a Sankalpa, for my fathers. And so a big Sankalpa was said. And then I interjected towards, just when he was completing, I was listening to everything, I interjected. Ramarajya Praptyartham So I told him, you should say these things also. And then Vedanta, Samskrita, Patana, Siddhyartham. We say it. I made him say it. If he doesn't know, he should know that these are also there in my interest. Then this guy is very smart, this Pandita. He said that, and then he said, Chintita Kamyartham. So whatever else you are thinking, that also you should fructify, it seems. Look at this is pakka, just pakka. Whatever else you have in your mind, which you did not know how to express, I am going to tell that also. Something he said, Chintita, some words he used, I forgot. I told him, Namaskar to you, I told him, Namaskar to you. So, Ekam Bhavam Avyayam. And what is that kind of Ekam it is? It is Avyayam Ekam. It is not like sun is one. There is only one sun, there is only one moon. That also is Ekam only. But that's all Vyayam Ekam. That's all perishing Ekam, changing Ekam. But here Atma is Avyayam Ekam. Okay, that Satyam is Avyayam, Nirvikaram Ityarthaha. So Dehaha, Manaha, mind also is Vyayam. Changes, constantly is changing. Therefore, and Sarva Bhuteshu, in all beings, which are Vibhakteshu, which are all different. Vibhakti means different. In Sanskrit also, the word vibhakti, when we say Prathama vibhaktihi, Dvitiya vibhaktihi, means it's all how the idea is categorized, categorical, noun, subject, categorically in a sentence, subject to subject. Very categorical it is. Subject is not object. Object is not subject. Verb is not subject. Verb is not object. Verb is verb. It has its own identity. Like that. Vibhakteshu sarva. Yekam bhavam avyayam ikshate. That person has that vision that Atma is ekam eva advitiyam. Okay? Look at how Krishna is telling it. Okay. Avibhaktam vibhakteshu. Okay. Avibhaktam also is saying. Avibhaktam means that Atma is not, there is no vibhakti for Atma. There is no division for Atma. There can't be any division because it is nirgunam. There can't be a division. You can divide only if there is a quality. Then you can say high quality, medium quality, low quality, you can say. But there is no quality at all. Therefore, this high, low, medium will not exist at all. Therefore, avibhaktam, avibhaktam vibhakteshu. I am reminded of another shloka in Bhagavad Gita. When I saw this yesterday, when I was looking at it, one shloka came to my mind. Okay, does anybody get it? Okay, write this down. 13:28. Look it up later. 13.28. Okay, samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyatsva vinashyantam yah pashyati sa pashyati. 13th chapter we studied. There he says sarveshu bhuteshu. Same thing here also. Sarva bhuteshu samam. Samam means ekam, right? Samam tishtantam parameshwaram yaha pashyati. One who sees that samam, that ekatvam, that essence which is samam. There he uses the word samam, which is ekam bhavam in this shloka. Okay, and then he says vinashyatsu avinashyantam. That atma, what is the nature of the atma? Avinashi. Avinashavan. Therefore, he uses the word Avinashyantam. Among all beings, all these bhutas are what? They are all vinashis. Bhutas are not avinashi. They are all vinashi. So he says Vinashyatsu Avinashyantam. In all the perishable things, that which does not perish. Yaha pashyati sa pashyati. One who sees that knows it, knows whatever is to be known. Like that, he says that vinashyatsu avinashyantam. Here vibhakteshu avibhaktam. Here same thing. Okay, so that undivided, We can say avibhaktam, undivided. Tad jnanam vidhi satvikam.
16 also, no? Guruji?
Which 16? Chapter?
13, 16? 13, 16. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam vichasitam.
Same thing, same thing. 13, 16. What is it? Okay. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiva chastitam bhautabhadra cha tadnyayam grasishtam prabha vishnu cha. Yeah, of course. Of course. Avibhaktam bhuteshu. Good one. All these can be, we can refer to all that. So that kind of jnanam, that advaita jnanam, that ekam bhavam avyayam jnanam, tad vidhi satvikam. Know that knowledge as satvikam jnanam. And that's why when we meet Swamiji and all, often we see this, when we see these satsangs where people come and meet Swamiji, and then we're all there, everybody's sitting. Somebody comes and suddenly they'll introduce, Swamiji, my name is so and so, I'm the son of somebody, some big man is there, and that Swamiji knows, so I'm the son of so and so, whatever. And then I'm the CEO of this company, and then I've been this, I've done that. So much big resume he gives. It goes on and on and on. And Swamiji is just watching him. And then at the end, the Swamiji is quiet. Swamiji might say, very good. Swamiji might say, very good. But beyond that, Swamiji can't say much. Do you know why? Because this karma, where is it going to lead us to? Why are you coming here, first of all? Why should you are doing very well? Why should you come and talk to me? So there must be a reason. So they're quiet. I often observe this. They're quiet. They'll say, nice, very nice. Sit down. Please sit down. So, because what can Swamiji say? What about all the other people who are not CEOs, who have not traveled the world, who have not worked in MNCs, who are homemakers? What about them? Nothing. You can't compare these two people at all. Because what you can compare at best is whether the jnanam is sattvikam, rajasam, or tamas. That is all. And Swamiji cannot say anything. Just keep quiet only. And let things unfold. How are things? How are you? Yeah, I know that person. We can have that kind of a conversation. But you can't use Swamiji to have these kinds of conversations only. Okay, we have to have more conversations, Swamiji. So therefore, that kind of jnanam is called Sattvika Jnanam. It is. So let's translate this. No Sattvika Jnanam to be that. No Sattvika Jnanam to be that. By which?
That is KNOW. That is KNOW.
Okay. KNOW. Thank you. See, we have to be so careful, Otherwise, we'll get lost in so many things. Okay. KNOW, sattvic knowledge to be that. Okay. By which one sees the non-dual comma, imperishable, and undivided self in all divided beings. Non-dual, imperishable, and undivided self in all divided beings. Know, KNOW, sattvic knowledge to be that by which one sees the non-dual, imperishable, and undivided self in all divided beings. We'll continue this discussion next time. Om Apadamapahartaram दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः सज्जनाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।